Welcome, guys. Welcome to Team Talk TV podcast. This is episode 74. I am filling in for Shahab, and you all know me as Ibs. We've got a stacked show today with stacked guests. As usual, we've got Coach. How are you, Coach, bro?
Good, man. Good. It's been a good week, so
yeah, cool, good. And this week again, Stelios. How are you, sir?
Always good, brother. Always good.
And we're joined by Nacy.
Good, bro.
Yeah, and Dots. How are you? Yeah, I believe you're on mute, but we'll move. And
sorry,
there you go. So let's get into it, boys. We've just spent the last 94 minutes watching what some would say is one of the worst League Cup finals in recent history. Manchester City versus Spurs. Manchester City winning 1-0 from Almeric Laporte in the 80-something minutes. Guys, recap, yeah, exactly. But let's have a recap for the guests, yeah? What did you think of the game?
It was rubbish, G. If you want to put it in one word, it was rubbish, boys. I thought City were going to slap them more than what they did. But yeah, it's just one of them drab games. Rubbish spectacle, to be fair. But yeah, the most important thing is that City won, boy.
Nacy, what was your view?
Echo that really boring game. City dominant in possession as usual. Poor in the final third from, I won't say his name. You already guys know how I feel about the guy. A lot of guys are telling me this and that form, but if you actually look at the player, he's playing exactly the same as he always plays. Like I told you, on the ball, this guy is not that great. He's only good at getting on the end of things for City. When you give this guy too much responsibility, we see it. I've asked multiple people, that are saying that he's apparently off form. What is he doing differently around the game, around his actual play in terms of his attributes? He's doing nothing. He's not scoring his tap-ins. That's it, unfortunately. Spurs, they didn't show up. I know the Mourinho fans are going to say because Mourinho wasn't in the final. If Spurs had won, they'd say, yeah, it's because it was a Mourinho team. But that's neither here nor there, innit? We know how that goes with the Mourinho cult. So, yeah, man, overall boring game. Happy that City won. Spurs still in search of a trophy. You get me? They said Jose would bring in the trophy. Some man said Jose would get them top 4. Hasn't worked out for them. They got to start again now, innit? So good for them. I'm happy.
Yeah. You know what? I just it was a poor final, to echo what everyone. There's no getting around it. Yeah. I looked at the performance. I don't think Spurs had. I just didn't see what the game plan was to try and win the game. To be honest, they had nothing going forward, absolutely nothing going forward, and that's why I questioned the whole Jose sacking. The timing of it in the sense that fair enough. I know Nacy's obviously going to highlight the fact that people are going to talk about Jose and whatnot, but the reality is, what would Jose do different in that final? To be fair, you have to respect the fact that I think the commentator even said Spurs have scored the same amount of goals as City this season. It's just been their defense. And I think if in a final like this, that's the man you want to put a game plan together to win a one-off game. They won at home against City. So, yeah, I just thought it was poor timing from Levy. Very, very bad decision. And they paid the price.
We'll get to Levy in a bit. But, Coach, I wanted to ask you a question. I believe it's almost 12 years now, 13 years since Spurs last won a trophy, which was the League Cup. As we've both said on this show, Mourinho had this final, put down a success for the season. Unfortunately or fortunately, he's not here anymore. What is your view on that situation? And was this Spurs' best chance to get a trophy probably for the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think his sacking is going to do one or two things. It's either it's obviously it might be something contractual, like in his contract, where listen, maybe they wanted to sack him in the summer, and if he wins a trophy, they got to pay him more money. If he gets sacked after winning a trophy, or people are rumoring that it's this Super League stuff and whatever it is, it was just poor timing, because now you put Ryan Mason in a position where his now first couple games, one of them is the final. And then now what he's gone and done, he's just gone and brought his academy boy, Winks, in for Ndombele. That's all he's gone and done. That's all he's gone. So we know the dynamic of how someone like a Ryan Mason is now looking at football at the end of the day. You cannot bring Harry Winks in whether City or not, you can't bring Harry Winks who ain't been playing a lick of football recently for Ndombele. For me, you can't do that. I think Ndombele is a better player. I think he would have gave them something better moving forward.
Did he come on? Did he come on at any point?
No.
I don't think he played. He
didn't touch.
Yeah, he didn't play. So I was very surprised with that. But like you said, Ibs, Mourinho, in a one-off game, that's why I always said that was their most important game. In a one-off game, you just don't know what plan Jose can throw up. You don't know what think. They beat City this season already. In a one-off game. That's just what it was. They're not going to beat City over consistency because they're not that sort of squad or team. But in a one-off game, you just never know. And today was 1-0 at the end of the day. Today was 1-0. So for me, I think it was a big call to put Winks in the head of Ndombele. But listen, you live and die by your decisions, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, let's move on to, because, I mean, we can give Man City their flowers. I mean, most of us probably thought they'd win anyway. So I guess for them, the more important game is the midweek, and we'll get to that later on in the show. Let's talk about Levy. I don't know if this will be his 8th permanent manager after this. I'm not 100% sure, but he's been there for a good part of 20 years now. And he's hired a lot of managers. You know, he's had Martin Jol, Juande Ramos, he's had Harry, he's had Pochettino, you know, and he had Mourinho. And now he's just got rid of Mourinho. Like, where does he go from here? You know, what's Levy's next move? Can he now go get a big manager to take that team to the top 4 and challenge for trophies? You know, I've seen recently he's been linked with Maurizio Sarri. You know, Nunes looking for a new job, I hear, as well. So are these the type of managers to get Spurs playing the football they once had a couple of years ago and get them back to where they want to be?
I think Sarri's a good shout.
Oh, go on down.
Yeah, I think Sarri's a good shout. Like he's not a bad manager. I think he's actually a good manager, to be fair. He's done a good job at Chelsea with the squad that we had to get top 4. In terms of where Levy goes from here, I think they need to look at a squad rebuild and use the fact that they've lost this final now, cash in on Kane while you can. There's no point hanging on to him now to try and take you to the next level, because you've tried that for the last 3 years and you haven't reached that next level. So maybe cash in on him. If you get a big bid in for Son, sell Son. You know, just try and get rid of some of those named players, and then, you know, bring in a manager like Sarri who's going to implement a style of play and will just, you know, do with what he can with what he has, really, which is what I think Sarri does. Done the same thing at Napoli as well. So,
bro, if that was the plan, why would you get someone like Sarri Engi? Why wouldn't you get someone like a what's this guy's name, Nagelsmann or whatever his name is, that young coach?
Nagelsmann.
Yeah,
I hear that. Yeah, that's another shout. But you have to ask yourself: is Nagelsmann going to take the Tottenham job?
Is Sarri going to take the Tottenham job, bro?
I think Sarri would. I think Sarri would take it, and that's the thing. Like, it's like I said, it's more a case of a manager that's going to do what he can with what he has. And I think that's something that Sarri can do. Like, if he has limited resources, he can get the best out of players. He can get the most out of what he has. So, you know, you bring in someone like Nagelsmann in, you don't really know what you're going to get just because he's only had 1 or 2 good years at Leipzig. So,
for me, when it comes to Levy, I think Levy just needs to be asked a simple question in terms of, what do you want? Like, literally, Levy, what do you want? You had Pochettino there, you know, for 5 years, good football, getting you top 4, Champions League final. You were on the up. Obviously, you had a down year, but okay, out of the 5 years, you had 1 down year. Everything up has been building up. Then you said, that's not good enough. I need a manager that's going to come in and change the mentality of the players and get us a trophy. Now you're giving him 18 months. So I think the biggest question for Levy is someone needs to sit him down, whoever it is, and ask him, what do you want? Do you just want entertaining football and see if you can get academy players here and there? Maybe a Europe, maybe a Champions League, maybe, or are you a man that say, no, I want to go to the next level and get trophies? Because right now, you've had both sides, and it's like you don't know what you want at the end of the day. So I think when he can sit down and ask himself what he wants, which if Spurs wanted him out, obviously we'll talk about what, but if Spurs wanted him out, this would be the perfect time to get him out. But if they can't get him out and whatnot, that's the most important question for Daniel Levy. What does he want moving forward?
I think for me, he's had a lot of time there and there's not been a lot of success. So it's telling, because does he want to rebuild and take another couple of seasons to make Spurs where they are, but can they be left behind? there's a lot more teams who are making it a lot harder to even break into the top 4 now. So that will be interesting. So, time will tell. Let's move on to the next game. Leeds versus Manchester United, another drab of a football game, 0-0. Coach, United fan, I mean, couldn't wrap it up for me. What was the game like? I didn't actually view it.
The game was nothing. So if you can just keep this moving, personally, there's nothing to talk about. So for me, it's all about us. It's all about Thursday. You just focus on the trophy. It looks like we'll get top 4, with other people dropping points as well. So we can move on from this.
Yeah, Man U are in a similar phase of the season to Arsenal. By the league, wherever you want to say top 4 or not, or Europe is done. I think Man U are quite comfortable that they'll finish top 4, which is what they want. And then what's left of the season is basically Europa League, trying to win that trophy.
Okay, I mean, and we can move on. It's one of those games where don't really have much to talk about. I mean, we can move on to actually the team that we play next week in a big clash. It's Liverpool, who drew against Newcastle 1-1. And again, I'd like to wish all my Newcastle fans out there for a great result. I have a few of them who don't like me, but, Captain Steve Bruce is doing quite well, steadying the ship. Let's just keep, Mike Ashley there for a couple more years. Have Liverpool reached their ceiling, guys? 3 years of fantastic football, dominant football, big trophies, great players, goals galore. Are we at the point where now you feel like Liverpool need a rebuild of such, or just maybe a little transition of players? Have they hit their ceiling? Or are we just, premeditating this off the season they've had, and when injuries and star players return, things will pretty much be back to normal?
Which star players are we talking about here? Just Van Dijk?
I mean, Gomez has been a really big player.
Which star players are we talking about here, bro?
You can say Van Dijk to you. You can say
Van Dijk.
That's
what I'm saying. One player. So let's make it clear on that. But,
okay. I'm just asking you the questions.
Yeah, because I was wondering who you was talking about here. It's literally just Van Dijk, if you really want to say that, boy. But have Liverpool hit a ceiling? Hi, it's a difficult one.
Well, if you can't answer it, I'll answer it.
Yeah,
now.
go on. I don't think
they haven't, bro. They haven't.
I think ceiling is a bit wrong.
Yeah, I think people don't understand the magnitude of Van Dijk in that Liverpool squad, bro. Like, you have to remember, they weren't even contending.
Explain it.
Okay, they were not even competing for titles or for Champions League or for the league until Van Dijk came, bro. And he came, he barely missed the game. I think, if any, I don't think he even missed the game. And he took him to a Champions League final in his first year, a Champions League trophy in the second year, and a Premier League in his third year. Come on, like, this is like, that's the base of their team. It's the base of their team. They've had to move most of them important midfielders to play in defense this season. Now they're running it with these amateur centre backs. I say amateur, that's very disrespectful, but these low caliber centre backs. Like, you throw Van Dijk back in that team, Gomez next to him. Even, to be fair, the guy that came from Schalke, if you put him next to Van Dijk, he suddenly looks a better player. The fullbacks look a bit like better players. No one was really talking about Trent and Robbo until Van Dijk was there, really, because
Sorry, Dan, sorry to cut. I just want to ask you the question. Are we then saying that this season it's just been about Van Dijk?
I would say so, personally. I would say, and I would say, I think that the Jota injury as well, I think that came at a bad time, because he was picking up and could always fill in for the times when, like someone like Firmino or Mane drops out of form. I don't know what's happened to Mane in the last 3 months, but I'd say 2 months, his form has dramatically gone down as well.
There you go, bro. You started off with Van Dijk as the catalyst of the failure. Then you started adding Jota. Now you've added Mane, bro. So that's what I'm saying. It's not
but that's what I'm saying. It's not the same. But I'm saying it's not ceiling, bro. I'm saying it's
fine. But I don't want you to pin it on just Van Dijk being missing, bro. There's been
I would say that's I agree with you. There's been many factors, but I think the key factor is that core in their defense, and I think that's played a massive part in a lot of games, a lot of results, and having to use their important midfielders in defence because
Are
that takes
we
away
are
from
we
midfield.
are we underplaying how important Jordan Henderson is?
I was about to say his name, bro. I was about to say his name.
We're not doing that because they've got more than adequate players.
But I'm just asking that question. The reason why I asked that, coach, is purely because although I'm not his biggest footballing fan, there's a reason Klopp loves playing him. So are we not underlining it? Yes, Van Dijk's massive, and don't get me wrong, they've missed that. Are we not also really not recognizing the role?
But you could talk about the same thing. You could talk about Fabinho when he had to play at the back. Maybe if he was in the midfield a bit earlier on in the season, would have got better results because he's clear that the midfield is much improved when he's in there. So we can say that about him as well. For me, this season, I just think it's just about the attack. I think the attack, there's certain games where they could have papered over the cracks with no Van Dijk. All these losses at home that they had 5 or 6 losses in a row. Come on now. That's I'm not saying it's got nothing to do with Van Dijk, but there's certain games there where you've got the attacking players to paper over those cracks. And they just weren't making the right decisions or finishing their chances. And that's what it's been for all 3 of them this year. Salah's been okay, but with them, it seems like that team there is either all 3 of them are firing and they're going forward, or if one of them's firing and the other 2 are not, it's not enough to get them over the hump. That's what it is. They literally are a trio. Like they all have to be bringing their part to the table and whatnot. And they haven't done that this season. So I would say more of their attacking play, like not finishing chances. Come on, man. They played Newcastle yesterday. How many chances they create?
I agree.
They should have been out of sight. They should have
How many
been out of
chances?
sight.
They created more chances than they did in the Palace win. When they won against Palace 7.
Oh, there you go.
It's just Mane missed some big chances.
Salah missed a one-on-one as well.
Yeah.
And whatnot. It's for me. I think their attack has kind of let them down. Plus, when you talk about is their ceiling, I mean, if you go Champions League, then you won the league. This is why people look back at the Mourinho's Chelsea, at the Ferguson's Uniteds, at the Pep's Man City. When you retain these trophies, it's not easy. It's not easy just to go again because you've reached the top. Now, the hardest thing is to stay at the top. The easy thing is to get to the top, but the harder thing is to actually stay up there. And they found that out by themselves. Yes, they got the injury, Van Dijk in that, but we all know it's a squad game at the end of the day. Like, you're not going to bring someone in just like Van Dijk, obviously, but the fall off to where are they at now? 5th or 6th in the league? Yeah, that's a big drop off. That's a big drop off.
Yeah, the narrative I've been seeing and hearing is the rock and rolls, the guitars are broken. Basically, you get me? They're overcharged now. You know what I'm saying? That's the narrative I've been hearing. Right? But we'll see. Time will tell on whether they can go again. But I don't think they've hit a ceiling. They just had a difficult season, injuries, lack of fans, etc., etc. All of those different factors that have contributed to the poor season that they've had. But yeah, let's see if they rise up again next season or go another 20 years without winning.
I think if we look at the question should probably be more, did they hit a ceiling? And I think the answer, when you actually look at it, if you take a bird's eye view and analyze it, I think we do have to say yes. On the back of what Coach said there, I mean, like he said, to have, what was it, in a row, they got over 90 points, 2 seasons in a row, 95 and 97 points. To then ask for a 3rd season, we can even see City, probably not likely, tell me if I'm wrong, mathematically possible to finish. Yeah, I don't think they can hit 90 points. Okay, just about they can. But they can't get over that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where to maintain that a 3rd season in a row, you're asking for 90 points, it's madness. Then you take into account the injuries. I think we can't dismiss what Stelios is saying about Van Dijk, Jota, and the injuries. But I mean, I think the key really is what Coach said, and it's that back-to-back thing. Like, it's not a joke thing, bro. Like, you get me? Obviously, they could have had 2 back-to-back titles. They could have actually had 4 trophies, and it's mad, isn't it? They could have won 2 leagues and 2 titles back-to-back. They were in both the finals, and competed till the last day in the league 2 years in a row. So I think it was only natural. So clap. I think the guys Blaze and whoever said Liverpool, you get me, the gas was going to run out. He called it at the start of the season. I think shout out to you, man, on that point, innit, with Liverpool, because I didn't foresee it happening, but it looks like, we have to say that they did hit a ceiling. But at the same time, 97 points isn't a bad ceiling to have. But as Coach alluded to, it's not easy to do that back-to-back.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you've all touched on certain parts, and if they don't finish in the top 4 and they do have to do Europa League, be a big transition, but maybe that might push them to maybe go for the Prem a bit more. There's a big game, as I said, next Sunday. Obviously, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Not much ramifications in regards to league places for Man United, but Liverpool is still pushing for top 4. If I can get quick predictions before we move on. Man United, Liverpool, what are we going for?
United.
Okay. Draw.
Okay.
I'll say Liverpool because they've got more to play for.
Okay.
It doesn't matter anyway whether it's home or away, to be honest. But yeah, I'd say Liverpool just due to the fact that they need to go for it just to make sure that they've got a chance of staying in the top 4 shout. They're out of Europe. What else is there to play for? You need to go ham for this top 4. United, I don't think, given the fact that it depends on how the first leg goes with Europa. Sorry, if they've got a big game the following week, they may not go full tilt in this match, given the fact that they're pretty much secure top 4. So I would say Liverpool to win that match next week.
Nacy, Stelios?
Yeah, I draw. I echo what Dots has just said. I think that the game on Thursday will determine the strength that they filled on the weekend against Liverpool, and my predictions would be I just feel like Liverpool's not going to win the game, to be fair, just based on how they're playing.
Cool.
So I'm going to draw.
Okay.
Yeah, I echo that as well, to be honest. I just think, just judging off the season, like Liverpool, only Salah's really firing. United, not that their top boys have done so well the last couple of games, but I just think if we look at the whole season, you get me, Pogba can win it, Bruno can win it, Greenwood can win it, Rashford can win it. Whereas Liverpool right now, it looks like if it's not Salah, maybe Jota, I don't see who else is really going to get busy in that side at the moment.
Okay. So we'll see how that goes next week. Big game. So, yeah, watch this space. Want to move on now to one of the other teams in North London who had a dismal, abysmal, awful, shocking, shambolic, disgusting of a result Friday night against Everton, losing 1-0 to a burnt their own goal. Guys, Arsenal guys, another home loss. I think this might be one of the worst seasons for home losses since like the 20s or something radical like that. Players misfiring, tactics over the place again, personnel not performing in games where they should be. Another keeper mistake. The record speaks for itself. 13 wins, 7 draws, 13 losses. This is not something a club of the stature of Arsenal should be aspiring for. Let's use that word there. It's not been good. I'm an advocate for Arteta, but this needs to change. But, you know, before I round it off, I'm going to let the 2 Arsenal guys go. Who wants to go first?
My good friend Nessie, it's the first time we've been on the same thing. Let's reel it off, bro, because...
First thing is, thank God, obviously, all of us man here was at football, so thank God that's the first thing. We didn't watch the match. I'm sure we would have checked the highlights, checked the extendo highlights as usual.
Oh no, G, I watched it in the car home on my laptop. I watched it.
You're mad.
So yeah,
okay.
I had a poor car journey home.
I wasn't gonna let that ruin my mood after a good football game that we had. But hear what I'm saying? Obviously, Ibs, you reeled off a bunch of adjectives there, disgusting, shocking, all of that. But if you're honest with yourself, were you shocked at the result?
No.
Second thing, I don't think Arteta's name even needs to be mentioned. And this again goes back to that narrative, bro. This, like we said, before Arteta joined, the job was mad for anyone coming in. Now, an experienced manager like Arteta, a young manager like Arteta, we've seen this happen with the AVBs, with the Lampards. It's very, very difficult to get going. You understand? You're coming into, to me, it's the hardest job in football right now, the Arsenal manager, right? But I don't want to spend time on Arteta because it is not his fault. You cannot legislate for a goalkeeper throwing the ball into the net.
You can't. You cannot.
You understand? Now, having said that, people talk about it's a results, and this is why I've always said back to you guys know me from the sports group. Whether it's both sides, giving the manager too much credit and trying to make out, this manager's some super genius, that's why they've done this, but also blaming the manager on the flip side. Sometimes it's clear where we can actually blame the manager. I'm sorry, that loss is nothing to do with Arteta for me. It's unfortunate because obviously as the head, it's going to go down on his record.
Yep.
But again, people should not have been deceived by the FA Cup run. And I don't attribute that FA Cup to him, honestly. I don't. Because Arsenal, the FA Cup, that's just been what we do. We're the FA Cup kings. We've won 4 FA Cups or something like that in the last 8 years. So a manager coming and winning the FA Cup, which, if we're honest, was like get me really by the skin of his teeth. How I got him out of his job. I didn't credit that to Arteta. Do you understand what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just another. It's a sad. I feel sorry for him. And these players, they've taken the mick out of him. It goes right back to Emery. Ibs, when you were hammering on about Emery, for me, getting rid of Arteta now is stupid for me. Unless obviously I don't know who's coming in. It's not for me. It's not more about Arteta out and all of this crap. It's what's your plan? Right now? I cannot see the plan. And I know we're going to get into the Super League later, but let me not touch on that anyway. But Arsenal is just a big mess now, and at the moment, I cannot see a way out of it. I can't see a plan. Tell me what tells you. But there's going to be something better next season. You and a lot of fans blamed Emery. Now you could clearly see that it was not Emery's fault. Do you understand? It is deeper than Emery. So
before I let you go, Doctor, I'd like to obviously agree with some of the points you've made. I don't believe it's Arteta. I believe these players are useless at times, and there's a lot of hiding behind the manager. So I think that's been going on since Wenger was there, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
Wenger's last year. There's been a lot of players hiding, but cup runs do ultimately paper over cracks, and that's just how football is. But
end of the day, no manager says, you know what, I'm going to go full throttle in the FA Cup, but we're going to be crap in the league. No, they're crap in the league because there's reasons. And that FA Cup run deceived a lot of people. This is why I nicknamed that thing, I said trophy. Like when I spent, you get me? I trolled it because it's like, if you're not talking about Champions League, don't come and tell me, yeah, this guy won UEFA, he won off UEFA, one off that, and then try to use that as an accolade to propel him. Sorry.
You can go, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, what more can I say after that, man? It's just, like I've said for the past 2 occasions that I've been on this podcast, it's pathetic and disgusting and disgraceful that this season that we've had. It's almost now like a challenge. How many can we win more than we've lost? Oh my God.
Get us out of jail last week, would have more losses than wins right now.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
what I'm saying.
You know, every season, usually right until the last couple, we have a hope. It's top 4. Right now, okay, we've got the league, we've got the UEFA Cup. That's still a hope. But in terms of the league, my only hope is that please do not let this poor manager have more losses than wins, man, in a season.
Yeah, man.
Please, that's just my only hope for him. He looks like a boxing record, like, you know, them pub boxers. That's what.
The journeyman. We've got the journeyman record right now.
Yeah,
journeyman's record, man. But yeah, I mean, we're on course to finish on the bottom half of the table, Arsenal, right? Where Aston Villa, who are behind us, have 2 games in hand, clean behind us. You get me? And they're only 2 points behind us as it stands. So, yeah, like I was a fan of Arteta, and what I believed I was seeing at the start, because it did seem, even to the most let me not say anti-Arteta, even to the most negative Arsenal supporter, that it was clear that something had changed a bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe how we played, how we set up, it was different. It seemed a bit more solid. Now, I can't see what Arteta, like, it's got to the point where I don't see what's happening in the games anymore in terms of structure, in terms of philosophy, in terms of what the plan is. It doesn't. Why do
you think that is, though?
Bro, maybe the players have lost belief.
Did they ever have it? Because you can have belief, but guess what? I know, obviously, people say, some will argue, mentality, this and that. To me, I'm sorry, the most important is ability. Yes, you need to have the right mentality. Yes, you need to have the right belief. You can believe you can do something. I can believe I can fly, bro. But if I can't actually do it, I can't do it. Yeah. And this is what's happened. The same old faces that let Wenger down, let Emery down, are now letting Arteta down. And that is why I did not subscribe to Arteta coming in and just check. It was stupid to think that. Yeah. And that was what got me so angry at the start.
To be like, he's got right. So the Europa League is win or bust. It's win or bust for Arteta right now. It's win or bust because of where we are in the league.
Define bust.
Bust? Bro, I've made myself clear, G. I feel... Bro, I've made myself clear. If Arteta gets sacked, bro, I'll just shrug because
Okay, the reason I asked.
get me. I'll say safe.
But the reason
Because,
I asked
bro-
the fan bus, wait, hold on. The reason why I asked the fan bus is because, as Nacy pointed out, you'll sack him and get who you can cite Nagelsmann.
This is it.
You can cite Sarri, you can cite all these managers.
Mhm,
But what's the difference in regards?
Yeah,
to
it's true,
players
bro.
changing?
It's deeper than the map. We've got a lot of clearing out to do.
Okay, now that points on to my next question.
Mhm.
Do you give him this transfer window and up to November to change it?
Fam, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I'm asking a question because
Yeah,
there was
yes,
a fan,
okay,
there was
yes,
there was
yes,
a fan forum,
yes.
and your boy Big Josh Kroenke said we are investing this summer. Now, if they invest,
Where are you gonna invest?
Listen, wait. Let me ask a question. If they invest, I'm just saying, if they invest,
exactly.
we've been promised. I can promise to fly somewhere, and they say I can't.
Yeah,
if they do invest,
Yeah,
they buy players,
Yeah.
they weed out nonsense,
yeah.
and he goes 10, 12 games, and it's not working. Should
Oh.
he be shown the door?
Oh yes, absolutely. Because then who do you blame? I'm gonna start getting angry now because I'm remembering things. People have been people have been shouting Kroenke out. Yeah, I want to see what Kroenke out is gonna do if the guy puts money in and they're still fumbling. I want to see it because
Now,
the past
okay.
week I've been seeing this Kroenke out. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't know. I don't really understand. I don't know. I don't understand it really, bro, because he's blasted money inside the club. I know there's probably going to be backlash and people hammering me in the comments saying, yeah, listen, focus. Us, man, that's our hashtag at the moment. We say focus. It's not Kroenke out. Look what's happening on the pitch first, please, guys, please, because it's deeper than the Kroenke at the moment. Bro, if Kroenke sold the club, I saw someone from Spotify come and say, yeah, I'll buy the club. Bro, it won't be any different, G. I'm telling you now, bro. Unless someone comes in with 11 figures in their account that can push 500 M's into the club every season, it's deeper than just Kroenke out, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, go on.
If they invest now, and we cleared out guys, and Arteta can say, okay, cool, this is my like I've had four windows now. I've assembled what I said 80% of my squad. If it's still messing up, bro, he has to go, bro. You get me? It's because then what? What's the excuse then after that?
I'll round it off. I'm with you in the Kroenke out business. He's cleared a lot of money into that club to buy recently, and there's a lot of players who have been bought for big money, and it's not worked out.
That's what I'm saying. You
screaming, buy, or
Fam.
you need to. It doesn't work. So those players.
Can I tell you what? Like again, I'm not necessarily like all of this in. Like I don't subscribe to that. But I think where I have to support those people and understand them is when the guy is taking money out of our business and you're putting it in your American business.
Okay, fair.
Because he's interested. So that is part of the problem, guys. You understand?
But my answer to that is it's his club, G. He will do whatever.
Okay,
we know that.
we know that.
I hear that he will do whatever he wants.
Our club before.
No, it was our club.
It's not his club. It's his business, and this is where
regardless.
fans
Yeah, but it's his business. So it's his business.
Because there's football sport, and then there's the business side of it. It's his business, but guess what? If there was no fans, he would not have a business.
No, I agree. But it's his business.
So respect those people.
Yeah, of course.
Necessarily, I'm in or out. I'm not Arteta out. I'm not Kroenke out, in or out. I'm not that. But I just try to respect and understand both sides.
Yeah.
And the good points is the bad points of what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it's his business. If he invests and it don't work, then it don't work. If he invests and it works, it works. Time will tell. Time will tell.
If you say
wait.
So one sec, tell us. If you say Kroenke out, and then who comes in next, and then what? It's not the grass isn't always greener, boy. Because people are saying Wenger out, and we've had the worst ever season I've ever seen in my whole life as an Arsenal supporter. G, I've never, bro. Let me not lie to you. I've never seen 13 L's. 13 L's under Wenger, bro. I haven't. As much as I wanted that guy out towards the end of his tenure, I didn't see 13 L's, 13 wins. I've never seen that kind of record in the whole season. I haven't seen that under Wenger, bro. So let's just take it easy. I understand what people are saying with the Kroenke out, and Nacy correctly gave very, very, very valid points. But listen, let's just take it easy on that, because if they invest now, I wonder what people will say after that. Let's focus on the players. Put the blame on the players. Say Xhaka out. Say Bellerin out. Say Leno out, bro, because these are the men that have messed us up this season time and time again.
Okay, let's move on, Doc. I can see you getting angry and head pulsating. But let's move on. Dan, I'm going to bring you in here. Big Timo Werner scored yesterday for Chelsea, winning 1-0 at West Ham. Top 4 looks, more promising than it was a couple of weeks ago. Big TT's come in, Champions League semi-final, FA Cup final, could get top 4. How is it looking from your point of view? Is this now a manager you can see here long term? What do you see with Chelsea?
I think it's to be fair, like it's kind of across with the Arsenal question that you just asked and the Chelsea question, because a couple of weeks back I asked the Arsenal fans, what do you see Arteta actually doing at the moment? Like, do you see him actually, like, what's his plan in games? Like, is he making you guys better? And to be fair, I actually think that your performances look worse than they did under Emery. And it's kind of the same with Lampard at Chelsea. Lampard at Chelsea, after he done very well in his first season, but when he had the players that he asked for, he couldn't deliver. The results were going down. And now Tuchel's come in, someone with tactical know-how and a certain level of experience as a coach has come in. You can see the clear difference in the performance. He's getting the most out of players that Lampard wasn't. Your Azpilicuetas have come in, your Jorginhos have come back in, your Rudigers have come back in. So that's where I feel like managers have add their value, getting the most out of what is there. And for me, to answer your question directly,
sorry, bro, you cannot get the most out of Xhaka and Bellerin, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree, bro. Listen, but then it's not about getting the most out of them. It's making a decision as to whether they're on the pitch or not. Do you get it? That's where I feel like I look at Arteta now, and I think I've seen long enough. I think he needs to go personally. And I get it when Arsenal fans talk about, if another manager comes in, he's just gonna have the same problems. I'm gonna have to, basically cook cook a different meal with the same ingredients. Yeah, I get that. But really and truly, you look at the people he's brought in, none of them have made a clear difference. And
guys, let's move from Arteta, man. Let's talk Chelsea. Come on.
I hear that. But all I'm just saying is, I rate coaches based on them getting the most out of what they have. And I think Lampard showed that he wasn't able to do that, maybe because of experience. Jorginho came out and said it the other week. He said that I feel like Lampard got the job based on, he said it outright, I think Lampard got the job based on sentimental values, but I feel like he probably didn't have, he probably needed a bit more time to be able to coach at this top level.
That quote was damning, boy, because he said the same thing about Andre Villas-Boas with his big chest at the time. Yeah,
Lampard said it about AVB, and now Jorginho saying it about Lampard.
Yep.
And these things matter. These things matter because, Nacy mentioned confidence. How players are meant to have mentality. But how can you have confidence and mentality and go out there every week when the manager just telling you, look, guys, if you do what I say, it's going to work. And you go out there, you do it, and it doesn't work week after week after week. You're going to lose confidence. You're going to lose faith.
Dan, when you say that stuff, every manager that gets sacked, you have Mason Mount come out and say, oh, Lampard was great with me and this. Then you have Jorginho, who weren't playing, who will say that you weren't great with me. That's just how players are. Like, if you're playing, you thank, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had Son and them lot thanking whatever, but I'm sure people like Winks and that ain't going to be thanking Jose when he's gone. So it's just like that. So you can't really
get that.
You can't take much of what players say when managers go.
I agree. But then you also have to look at performances. Now, I feel like, I think a lot of people would say in the last 3 months, watching Mason Mount, people are now starting to rate Mason Mount. Whereas when he was playing under Lampard, people are still and ahhing as to whether he's good or not.
I'm still and ahhing, so
that ain't changed for me either.
Okay, I would say a large majority of people have started to.
Let's look at Chelsea, Dan, from our whole perspective here.
Yeah.
As I said, aside where you are and how you're doing, what is next? What do you see how the season can end?
The season for me, perfect would be top 4. Obviously, win the FA Cup.
I don't want perfect, Dan. I don't.
I feel like that's what's going to happen anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I think top 4. I think we're going to beat Real Madrid. I think it's going to be City Chelsea final. That one I'm still 70-30, but I'm still going to back my team. But I think we're going to get top 4. I think we're top 4 FA Cup. I'm confident on those. Champions League, I'm 70-30, but I'm backing Tuchel to do it, bro. I'm back, especially if we come up against PSG. You know, he know PSG in and out. He's just come from there, and he's beaten City in the FA Cup. He's shown that.
Be careful of that PSG curse, you know.
I know, because they're going to be hungry.
Like everyone knows,
Neymar are hungry.
Bro, no, it's not that. It's not that.
Hold on a second.
Everyone knows the Champions League stat right now. The 8 winners out of 9 have all of them have beaten Bayern Munich on the way to winning it.
We'll get to the guys. We'll get to the Champions League. We'll get to the Champions League.
Cool.
Let's move on. Let's move on quickly because time's of the essence. Before we actually get to the Champions League and Europa League predictions, this week has been a telling week in the football world with the Super League and all this fiasco for the last week and so, and it's still being talked about now. As we all know, it was introduced last Sunday, just after the FA Cup game, I believe. That 6 clubs in the Prem, along with 6 others, wanted to break away and have their own league, and not with no relegations. We all know the backstory. Is this the last we've heard of it? And do these Premiership clubs deserve some sort of sanction for it, or are we just going to just brush it under the carpet and keep it moving?
It's not over.
Not over.
It's not over.
It's not over, boy. But especially by the way Florentino Perez is sounding.
Mafia boss, bro.
Perez has got his own sanctions right now.
He's basically saying you lot are not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You get me?
You signed the
My club, bro.
He's
but
driving
the thing
that
is,
slave ship, boy.
badly. And the thing is, what I'm clocking from him, yeah. The more he speaks, he's had a few interviews since it all got shut down. Yeah, he had his own agenda badly. It wasn't about football, this and that. Listen, he just wanted Real Madrid are in big stew right now, and he wanted to cash them. Like, bro, I even heard that Barca and Real Madrid were gonna get more than everyone else. I don't know how, but
they got their own TV deals,
bro.
They have their own TV deals at the moment.
It's not. Yeah, listen. By the way, he sounded. He's called his lawyers. What? They can't go. Yeah, they're not going anywhere, bro. No one's going anywhere, bro. They all signed the thing. They all signed it, and they thought, we can just announce so that we're coming out. No one's going anywhere, bro. It may not be like, okay, August Super League is happening, but the sanctions are going to be brazy, and I think personally, they will change it so that it's less of an uproar. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I was actually going to come to you, Coach, and just ask you for your opinion on this, because obviously we spoke about it and we both had different opinions, but
So for me, the English teams, what Docs was saying, I think the English teams is best that they're out of that, because when I hear like Doc said, when I hear Perez more and more, it lets me know that English teams, remember, you can't compete with Barcelona and Real Madrid historically for top players and lifestyle-wise for top players. Now you're about to give them 400 mil each year, where they could just buy an Mbappe every season. Every top player is probably going to go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. Why? Because they've got the money to pay the wages, they've got the money to pay the transfer fee, and they've got the Spanish lifestyle. A lot of players are going to take that option over English clubs. So it's good English clubs having money and whatnot, but I'm not trying to go to cold Liverpool or cold Manchester. Like, I might go to London because my wife likes to shop and stuff like that. But the majority of these top players, they're going to go to Barcelona and Real Madrid, because don't forget, a lot of these top players are going to Barcelona and Real Madrid for the lifestyle and the history of the club. But when you factor in the lifestyle that most of the year compared to England, it's mostly sunny, it's more relaxed, this, that, and the other. It's a big thing for these players. It's a massive, because sometimes people look at Real Madrid and think, look at the chaos that's going there. You're changing manager every season. But for some reason, they keep getting a Galactico every single time. They keep going to Real Madrid. Why do they keep going to Real Madrid? It's not like Man United and other English clubs can't pay more. It's that they're just looking at the lifestyle at the end of the day. So I think the English clubs coming out the Super League has kind of helped them. And obviously with Barcelona and Real Madrid saying, nah, we're not out. It's not done, guys. We're not out. And plus, if you guys leave, we're going to sanction you. You're going to have fines to pay. So these English clubs, I don't know, boy. But I think it's better for them to be out of there competing against Barca and that financially.
Nacy, let me come to you.
Okay, you already know, fam. I was absolutely 100% for this thing. I was 100% for it. We discussed earlier Arsenal, and I'm so real. You don't know me. I'm a realist. It was for purely selfish reasons. One, because I don't know where my club is going. So for me, this was just like a lottery, free get out of jail free card. What? We can't compete for Champions League no more. You're telling me my club is going to get thrown into a league with Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and we're going to be, you understand, competing in this exclusive league every week.
And they say, would you really be competing though?
George, that's the thing is, I don't know. I would have the hope right now. You have to be in it to win it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Can you win a raffle ticket if you don't buy a ticket? Can you win a raffle?
That's true. That's true.
There you go. So I'm sure if you look at and people complain about the NBA leagues, the suit, like obviously it was they wanted to make it an American style thing, but not for you, man. They're saying that watch American style sports. You all watch NBA. You support the Lakers. You support when you go to these countries, they have their history and they have their fans as well. Now, what I did not like last week or from Monday on was the hypocrisy from Gary Neville, from Gary Carragher, and the shit.
Even from Rio and them guys.
Yeah. All Gary near all of them, bro.
From all these online people and from all the fans saying this is. Do you think these guys, any of these organizations, UEFA, FIFA, even the TV channels, give a bloody damn about you guys and grassroots football?
Exactly.
Do we know when the Premier League came in? Most of us are born late 80s, early 90s on this call. Go, because we don't know any different. We think everything is the Premier League. No, go and look at the structure. And the same thing, that was what happened. The Premier League broke away from the traditional standard of the Division 1 football. I don't know the exact schematics, but the Premier League was a financial breakaway. So all this ESL is just basically, in my understanding, the club's taking it into their own hands and wanted to cut out the middleman. So if it's like us lot now, if we all want to put our own thing together and say, we don't want to use this Zoom, we're going to make our own super Zoom, and why not? So I didn't, from the club's point of view, I get why they would do it. Do you understand? Now, when it comes to the question of morality and is it right, is it fair? No, that's the answer. Simple. And as I said, as an Arsenal fan, I wanted this for purely selfish reasons. Like when it was announced on Sunday, I was like, boy, sorry West Ham, sorry Leicester. I feel for you, man, but like, we're off to the promised land.
Nathan, let me just ask you this, yeah? You're saying for purely selfish reasons.
Yeah.
So do you think the boredom wouldn't wear off you, whereas...
No, I don't, George, because...
No, hear what I'm saying. Hear the question. I'm saying that you play Barcelona one week, you get pummeled. You play you Real Madrid the next week, you get pummeled. You play another top team, you get pummeled. But on the Saturdays and Sundays when you're playing Premier League, those results that you're getting doesn't really matter because you're in the Super League the following season. Would you be happy with that?
George, again, it's hypothetical. Like, you could tell me I wouldn't, I could say I would. We don't know now. That's the bottom line. What I will use is the American model and say, you get me? I don't know American football, but do you get me? What's the Celtics and this and that's basketball, innit? But these guys, they don't get bored of watching the same thing in their playoffs.
But their model in America is been embedded in them for how
George, thank you. I'm glad you said that. And guess what? That's what it boiled down to with England.
Yeah,
it's human beings. This wasn't about the Super League. Human beings, we don't like change. If you change the layout now of Instagram or the Facebook user interface, people are screaming. People that don't know a damn thing about the royal family, you can't break down our royal family. This is England, the Queen. That's the mentality I saw from football fans. We're so used to something and you just didn't want it to change. A lot of the reasons I saw were bollocks, mate. Now, to go back to that playing every week thing, mate, how many times do we sit here and waste hours upon hours in arguments of who's the best player in Europe? Mbappe can't compete with this. Mbappe versus... Well, here's the chance. Hang on. Wait. Here is the chance to have a league where we actually see that. Champions League, we might not see Real Madrid play Bayern Munich, for example, for 4 years, even 10 years. No, I want to actually know, and without any debate, who is the best in Europe. And this Super League thing was the best way to do that.
What I'm saying, Nathan,
I don't like hypotheticals of if.
Okay, blah, blah, but I'm saying the hypothetical is very realistic that it could happen. You have 6 fixtures in the Super League so far, yeah, whatever it's 6 fixtures from September to whatever, yeah. You are now 8th for whatever in the table. You have no chance of winning this this Super League. Then you're going on Saturday to your Premier League, who you're playing, who doesn't even matter who you're playing, because those 38 games mean nothing. There's no point in watching them 38 games because you're in that Super League next season anyway. So you haven't earned anything.
I still want to win the domestic league too. If cares about the Carling Cup, that means nothing to me. And you're talking about me. You understand? I am not football, George. There's a whole plethora of fans. So I'm going to watch the Super League, and that will be my main ambition. But I'm also still going to watch the domestic league because I support my team and I want to win that too. I don't see the big hullabaloo.
Me personally, in terms of the Super League, my biggest thing is, I know what Nacy's saying in terms of things changing and business and stuff like that, which I totally get, like and whatnot. And you can have a selfish fan mindset, which is cool. But for me, it don't sit right, especially what Pep Guardiola said. What are we going on these training grounds to teach these players? What are we teaching them? You're gonna get guaranteed success anyway. You're gonna get your money anyway. You're gonna be in the Super League anyway. So as a top club, how am I motivating these players day in day? What are we working for? Coach, we have a bad season. Next year, we're in the Super League, coach. Relax.
I think.
Let me counteract you on that, because what they said was they signed a 23-year contract. All right. Okay. Now that could change, and I know 23 years is a long time. You understand what I'm saying? But they'll have to renegotiate. I don't think a team's just going to keep finishing 18th, 18th. Things will have to change. They said 5 teams can get in every year or whatever. And people need to remember it's in its infancy. When the Premier League came, there were people like you or like whoever just against it saying, nah, we can't have this. Guess what? We're all still sitting here like fools, paying 40, 50 pounds for Sky and BT. And I guarantee you, half of those men that are older than us now, that are 50, 60, they were saying the same thing, George. And guess what? They're paying their Sky bill, they're paying their BT.
But the thing is, Nacy, the foundations of the game remain the same. Yes, the business side changed, which is cool. I'm cool for business side changing. I think these clubs should get more money because they're producing more of what's going on, the entertainment. So they should get more money from UEFA. So I'm not backing UEFA or FIFA. Believe me, like UEFA and FIFA, they have no legs to stand on whatsoever. But in terms of the foundation of the game of football, the foundation stayed even though Sky came in 1992. If you don't perform, you get relegated. If you have a consistent 38-game season, you win the league. It's just, that's what it is. You earn what you're getting. You earn it. Now, this whole thing is just taking the whole.
Okay, guys. Let me. Sorry, Nate. Sorry, Nate.
I'm not sorry. Okay. The clubs that were invited to the Super League, were invited off of merit that they've earned over hundreds of years. Who are the biggest clubs in England? Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Because I saw a lot of people saying Arsenal and that. No, but it's not just based off this season. They've been discussing the Super League for 10, 11 years. That's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, George, it's got to start somewhere. I get what you're saying about that it's not fair, really get cool, but they've got to start somewhere.
I think it needs to change.
They went to, and don't forget, it's not like they just woke up and started it. They came to all these UEFA guys and tried to say, we need to revise it, They didn't want to listen. Now they started their own thing. And maybe for some of the clubs, they actually got what they want. Maybe they thought, you know what? If we do this thing, then UEFA are going to sit down and come to the table with us, innit?
Which has happened, and UEFA have made a new format. So we can talk about this forever, but I don't really want to. So let's move on, please. And we'll move on to the Champions League and Europa League predictions. We'll keep this brief. I'm just going to throw you the match, and I just want simple first leg answers. So we'll start off with Tuesday. I believe it's Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Guys?
Real Madrid. Okay. Real Madrid. Are we discussing who's going to go through over the 2 legs to the final?
No, we're just going with the first leg. Just one.
That's
who's winning on Tuesday? Madrid.
Yeah. But why are we discussing who's going to go through to the final?
I just want to know who's winning the first leg. We can get that next week. That's it. Simple as that. Yeah.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay, cool. And Wednesday's game. PSG versus Man City.
Is Mbappe out? Has it been confirmed yet?
He picked up a thigh injury, so we don't know if he's going to be 90.
That's a huge.
I hate this.
Just calm down. Just calm down. It's part of the game.
The game ain't it. We still got 3 days. And as that is a deciding factor.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's more than deciding, bro.
Yeah. So whether he plays or not, I'll go. Boy, I'll go PSG if Mbappe plays. If not,
Yeah.
then City. Simple.
Okay. Are we all in the same boat with that?
I
one?
reckon draw.
Nacy?
I think so, man. I have to agree with that, man.
Okay. If we move on to the great competition of the Europa League on Thursday, Manchester United and Roma. I believe that is at Old Trafford. It is at Old Trafford. Who are we going with?
1-0 United.
Okay.
Who are they playing?
Roma.
Roma, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Roma.
Okay. Nacy?
Yeah, I'll go United.
Okay. And Villarreal versus Arsenal at Villarreal.
Emery's gonna smoke us. We're getting smoked. I don't.
We're gonna get contained. I'll tell you why we're gonna get contained as well, because I don't know how fit Aubameyang is or what he's doing in training or whatever, but if we go there playing Nketiah up top, say good night, please. And that's let me not even put all the pressure on Nketiah. It's not just him, but it's just for me. We were gonna probably lose anyway, but that's just the nail in the coffin for me. Like we're going there without a good or solid striker, which is crazy now. And yeah, I just feel like Emery's just gonna good evening us, boy.
Okay, Villarreal lost today to Barcelona 2-1, so you know we'll see.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
No. They played full strength team.
Doesn't mean anything, bro. It doesn't mean anything.
We'll see.
We just lost. Yeah,
it was only 2-1.
We just lost to Everton, fam.
Anyway, coach, Stelios, Arsenal, Roma. I mean Arsenal, Villarreal.
Arsenal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just think a draw, man. Draw.
Okay.
Again.
Score draw.
Probably. No, yeah. I don't know. Just a draw.
You think
man.
Arsenal are not going to concede, Dan?
Basically.
What makes you think? Do you think if it's a draw, it has to be a score draw?
No, it's probably be a draw. It's just the way Arteta sets up. It's the way Arteta sets up.
I'm gonna say Arsenal, but they will concede a goal. So yes, guys, put your predictions in the comments. Let us know who's gonna win. Will it be an all-English final, possibly, or all the English teams is going to get escorted in the first leg? So we'll move on to start Southern Cell before we move on to UFC. This one.
What was last week's one again? Sorry, start Southern Cell quickly, because I remember that being dope last week.
Seydorf, Vieira, and Javid.
Coach locked that one off.
But we're not discussing it. new one, guys. Now, come on, Nacy, come on now.
Well done, coach. Well done for
that. We're running out of time here, guys. We're running out of time here, guys.
AC knows, man.
This week is Kaka, Iniesta, and David Silva.
Oh, god damn it! Shit.
I can go first, bro.
Go on then, bro, because I need to think.
So I'm gonna start Kaka. Kaka starts for me. Iniesta second, David Silva third.
So
you're selling David Silva, bro.
Just for the viewers, Dan is selling David Silva.
I am selling.
Subbing Iniesta and starting Kaka. Who's next? I see a lot of thinking going on.
David Silva was definitely. David Silva's definitely got to get sold.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Absolutely.
Not in a disrespectful thing, but just compared to the other two.
Mm-hmm.
The other two have done more for me.
Yeah. No.
Kaka's a difficult one, man, because he's in that B class of Brazilians.
What?
Yeah, he's not Romario, Rivaldo, Ronald. He's not in that class. So let's calm down now. It's not that. Yeah, he's
so what Rivaldo?
Rivaldo's in the A class.
George, he was for a bit. He was. Let me do mine, yeah, and then you lot can argue that.
Ballon d'Or winner, bro.
I'll go, and I'll tell you my logic. Innit? I'll go.
Kaka's not B class, bro. I'm so.
No. B class Brazilians.
Nacy, go.
I'm gonna go Iniesta, Kaka, and Silva. Yeah, and my logic is Iniesta just because of the longevity and the consistency and the accolades. Kaka, because I feel like he had a 2-3 year period around that time. Did he win a Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, bro. Before Ronaldo and Messi, he was the one.
Exactly. 2-3 years after that, it was like, what happened to this guy suddenly? Do you get me? So that's why I have to kind of drop him out. Yes, when do your face like that, go and look at it. It's when your hero Ozil came to Madrid. You get me?
I didn't do a face for that. I looked at it.
Sorry, bro. You know, bro, I love you. But yeah, Kaka second because when he was at the top, he's got a Ballon d'Or and he was that guy like for a short period, but he didn't maintain it long enough, like to the latter of his career.
Was the injury at Madrid that finished him?
Well,
really?
whatever way I hear that, but I have to judge it some way. Okay. And Silva because he obviously, you get what I'm saying, won the league with the City, was part of a big, you understand, that sort of shift change in Manchester. So what am I justifying here? I'm selling him. So
okay. Next up,
Well, I never said mine.
Coach, I said next up, Coach.
I'm gonna have to go with what Nacy said in terms of that's what I was umming and ahhing about Kaká and Iniesta, but I'm gonna go for Iniesta, Kaká, and David Silva. For me, when I say B level, it's not disrespectful to Kaká. It's just my top Brazilians are the Rivaldos, Ronaldinhos, R9s, Rivaldos. Do you get what I'm saying? Even the old school guys, they can put Pele in there after I watched his documentary as well. You can see why and whatnot. They're the A standard Brazilians for me. The B ones are like the Kakars. Geez, I can't even put this guy's name in there.
That's the same.
Adriano.
Are you putting Carlos?
Adriano. How we say?
It's Carlos A.
Yeah, Carlos A. Carlos Cafu. Them guys there. They're A. I'm just going off the big household names and whatnot. But Kaká for me is below those guys, just below those guys' level and whatnot. So yeah, so Iniesta,
them, though. It's hard to say. Like all the players you named, he played with all of them, though. You get me?
But I just feel when you look at Brazilian history, Kaká doesn't jump to you like that. That's just me personally.
Kaká was levels, man. I just
sorry, Dots.
Yeah, I'd start Iniesta. Just for me, there was a good 5-6 year period where he was just unplayable as a midfielder. The only reason he probably didn't win a Ballon d'Or is because of Messi and Ronaldo's dominance. So yeah, I'd start Iniesta. I thought long about this throughout, but I'd just go for Kaká on the subs. And I'd sell David Silva. But David Silva, he went to City and just changed everything in terms of how they play. Just a magician to watch. We watched him in the Prem for 10 years, and every season he was just, come on, G.
Yeah, 10 years, yeah.
Fam, let me listen. He was the player that I'll sell Kaká, because just chill out. It's not yours, it's mine, bro. Chill out, bro.
Listen. Silva for me, Silva didn't win the Champions League.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's and he had teams to do it. He had teams to do it, and I don't think he. Not necessarily sport or nothing like that, but for me, when you look at Kaká,
but this is the thing. You got to look here. What's a bigger feat? If you got a team here that like you're part of the revolution of that team.
Revolution.
These men that won Champions League, they were in teams that historically already won it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like you're walking into teams where it's like, you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like that's why I feel bad subbing Silva just because he was part of an actual revolution. Whereas these teams that Kaká and Iniesta play for were, you get me? They're always going to produce teams that go on to win stuff again and again.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah, sorry, just to confirm, I'm not going to go into it again or deeper why I'm saying it, but I'm starting Iniesta.
Yeah.
Subbing David Silva, I'm selling Kaká, boy.
Cool. I'll do mine just to wrap it up. I would do the exact same. Start Iniesta, sub Kaká, and sell David Silva. Iniesta not winning a Ballon d'Or in 2010 is an absolute crime to football. He should have won it. World Cup winner, scored the winning goal in the final. Simple as that. Let's move on to UFC. I'm sure we all watched it. Let's get a quick 5 minutes on this. Did everyone watch it?
Sign out then, coach, bro. What are you signing for, fam? Sign out then, bro. Yeah. That's how you feel.
Did we all watch
Close
it?
your camera, bro.
Did we all watch it? We did.
Best sport in the world, fam. Bar football, bro.
Okay, and can we sit here and say Kamaru Usman is the number one pound for pound in UFC?
Currently?
That's the question. Is he the number one pound for pound?
I think he's the number 3, personally.
Allow it, man. Mind the business, bro. Coach is trolling, man.
Is he number 1?
After yesterday, Nacy, I don't know. Stelios, Nacy, you guys are solid UFC fans. It'll be hard to argue that he isn't. You could put Amanda Nunes in it, but you get me. In terms of male fighters, you could say he's pound for pound right now. Obviously, we're not including Khabib, who's retired from the sport. Kamaru is pound
if
for pound.
Khabib's, if Khabib's not in it, then
Kamaru's pound for pound.
Because if we're going off, but you know what? I'm even starting to think now. Even if you put Khabib in there, because if you go off the roster, and no, Khabib's division's mad. Let's just go. Khabib's out of it. So
yeah,
you know what? Yeah, if we're just going with who's on the roster, you have to give it to him because, like he said, he's actually gone through everyone in the division. And he made a mad point, that
he said he's lapping now. That's what it is,
bro. He's going around again. And you get what I'm saying? To have a champion that's actually calling out the guys that he's scared of and taking mad risks, you don't get that in a lot of sports, bro. You get in combat sports generally. Normally, guys want to hold their belt, they do the thing, they duck, and you get what I'm saying? He said, no, you know what? I can actually smash this guy. I beat him, but I didn't beat him properly.
Yeah.
And even the wins that he had before he got the belt, like the Leon Edwards, who's now linking the ring of the title, people are forgetting before he had the belt. Like he made a point, GSP got his title thing after 4 years. And what do you call it? He got after 4 fights, sorry, and he got his title fight after 8 fights. Imagine if he got a title fight given us early. Now, I want to go off on a brief tangent here because this really angered me. Like, why this question, would we be asking this question? I'm sorry if this offended anyone. If he was white.
I was going to highlight that, bro.
With this question, be getting,
highlight that.
As you understand, like the UFC, they would be promoting it as he's the pound for pound. And this is a thing with combat sports. It's a running theme that we don't talk about, the underlying racial tone, which I know is going to happen when Joshua and Fury fight, which is why no matter, even if I wasn't Nigerian and I hated Joshua, I would have to back him because of the underlying racial tone that is so prominent in combat sports. Usman gets booed in the stadium. Why? For what reason? Like, he fights the same sort of style as GSP, and even better if we look at it now, because now we can see what he's done to stand up.
Stand up, yep.
GSP was called a talent, a great mixed martial artist for holding people down in wrestling. For Usman, they call it boring. Why is that? But it's the same thing. They both don't talk trash and all of that. Okay, now, when a black fighter, we all know who the king of that is. Floyd started this whole private jet money, blah, blah, blah. He gets booed. They call him cocky, arrogant, this and that. Conor McGregor comes out, does the same for UFC. It's, oh my God, he's so brilliant. He backs up all this talk, even though when the guy loses. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. This constant underlying racial bias in combat sports from fans, from promotions, that is, you understand, really, really needs to, I wish more fighters would speak out about it, boy. Like
hopefully more fighters do. You know, we want to eradicate racism, and if we can, we can. But to be honest, I don't think we will. So no, I just said I don't think we will. It's not going to happen, and this is how it's always going to be, whatever sport you look at. Just one more question before we wrap this up. Nunes versus Shevchenko 3.
Sorry, Nunes all the way for me. The first, both fights were close. The first ones. Now, where it factors in, what we have to factor in here is, okay, who's beat harder people? Now, before women's MMA came up so big, and the first female MMA fighter, a lot of people will know is Ronda Rousey. Before Ronda Rousey, I'm here to tell you, those of us that have been following MMA, there was a lady called Chris Cyborg. Now, I don't want to be too disrespectful because I never know where this thing can go. But what I will say to you is, if you have seen Chris Cyborg fight, she will beat up guys.
Beats up guys calmly.
She beats up guys. And when Amanda Nunes went to fight this woman and went up to her weight class, like, her body does not look like a woman. Like, there's almost no fat on Chris Cyborg. Like, you get what I'm saying? Her body looks, go and just Google it.
Very built. For the viewers, if you don't know who she is, she's very
lost
built.
in over 10 or something like that years. And Amanda Nunes walked through her and destroyed her.
Dispatched her.
Up to her weight class, you get me, and destroyed her. The Amanda Nunes that fought when she fought Shevchenko those 2 times has evolved since then.
Evolved, bro, and that's a very good point. A very good point. The 2 fighters of today, I'm sorry, Amanda's just
more well-rounded for me.
Well-rounded, and I think
so. If we go in for a quick Nunes or Shevchenko, who are we going for?
Nunes,
bro.
Okay.
She's the best fighter of all time, clean.
Cool. Coach,
female fighter of all time.
Coach, Nunes or Shevchenko?
Andrei Shevchenko is a great player.
There you go. So, you know, I hear that. Well, guys, anyway, thank you for being on. As always, Coach, thanks for coming on again. Dan, Dots, nice to have you. as we, can recap, we spoke about the League Cup, Daniel Levy, Manchester United, Super League, Arteta, Chelsea, Champions League, Start Summer still, and the UFC. We'll be back next week where we'll have more content and more stuff for you all. Please subscribe, like, comment. We love doing this, and it's just got more in the pipeline. So again, thank you guys for being on, and have a great weekend and a good working week. Take care.